Choose not to live in a world of filters. Realize your mistakes. Set the foundation for your success. Get some wins. Knucklehead Podcast.
Here we go. Welcome to another edition of Knucklehead Podcast. You got with us today the Knucklehead Steven. What's happening, guys? We got another awesome guys and gals for all you ladies out there that get tired of me introducing everybody as just guys and gals. I will learn. We got with us today Jeffrey Skinner. Jeff Skinner, nice to meet you, buddy.
Appreciate
Black Level AV. So, all right, I'm going to jack this up. I always jack up people's business names. I don't mean to do this, but I do it. Jeff Skinner, Black Level AV.
Black,
see?
yeah,
I told you.
Jeff Skinner with Black Level AV.
I love it. All right, so Rockwall, Texas, the middle of the Great White North, the North Country of the great country of Texas and the Great White North. Tell us. Well, first of all, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We love it. Marine, you can see that in the background. He's got his two chevrons up, cross wrappers in the middle. A4 corporal, backbone
E4.
I love it. All right. Well, hey, listen. Tell people a little bit about you. Give us some personal background. Where you're from.
Well, I guess it's simplified in the elevator pitch. I'm a native Texan, born here and raised in the Mesquite, Kaufman, Seagoville, Crandall. We moved all over the place, but I'm a Texan. So graduated Mesquite High School, Old Mesquite in 99, took right off to Marine Corps boot camp, spent 4 years, obviously, in the Corps, loved every minute of it. Ended up getting out honorably in 2003 and stayed in San Diego. I was playing music. I was slapping the bass. That's what I was doing.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah, for a while.
And grew an epic beard too, by the way.
So played some music, had a great time, had a really awesome time in my 20s, and then I met the one. So she kind of reined me in, put me together in terms of she really saved my life. So got married, bought a house. My son was about 5'6", something like that. Decided I'm tired of being in California. Put our house on the market, sold the same day, moved home. So
that quick.
Back, yeah, in the same night. So, moved home, built a new house, spent about 8 months living with my mom and dad hold on,
with a baby and wife?
Yeah, so we went from a 3,000 square foot home to a 10 by 10 room for about 8 months. Wow. So that was some trying times. Yeah.
Makes sense on why she saved your life there.
Yeah, she almost took it a couple times too, but
I don't doubt it. I would have taken your life. You've taken me from a 3,000 square foot house to a 10 by 10 room. What's the matter?
Yeah, so that's kind of the elevator pitch. Native Texan, took off to the Marine Corps, served in Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom, like most of you guys.
Yep.
Great experience. Still have brothers I keep in touch with, and that's kind of the short end of the story there.
Well, so I love stories like that. For one for a couple of reasons. Why I told you whenever we first got started, the reason why we started Knucklehead was we want to kind of dispel the myths that everybody's got to have this perfectly crafted story. It's a cookie.
Usually doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I mean that's just how life is. Life's messy. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody out there wants to listen to, this perfect articulate story about this multimillionaire who gave birth to several kids and was able to get everybody into a service academy, and then eventually he was elected to it's just like come on, dispel the myths. Let's talk about the things that we screwed up. Let's talk about the things that we messed up. First of all, good on you for being able to sell your home and successfully move back. That's kind of scary to kind of go through that entire process, to be able to successfully navigate that, even as a couple too, to live almost a year at a 10 by 10. That's something else.
We got really lucky. I mean, the money we made from the house helped us get here and obviously get settled in or whatever. But
right on.
It was a big deal for me to get back home.
All right, so now you're Black Level AV. All right, I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to jump ahead. Yep. And the reason why I want to jump ahead is people want to hear, as a business owner, you're in North Texas, you live in a small community, very veteran friendly. Mm-hmm. People would use that as a reason why you're successful. And I want you to tell them, okay, that's not the reason why. Yeah. I want to hear what you would have to say for somebody who just says, well, my community doesn't support veterans. That's why you're successful, because
I think I'm successful in my eyes because I get up every day completely self-motivated. There's a great veteran community here. There's a great local non-veteran community here, but I'm a firm believer in, no one gives you anything. I teach my son that on a daily basis. I grew up extremely poor, moving all over the place, lived in hotels, like that kind of lifestyle. So I don't take anything for granted. I'm grateful I can pay my bills, blah, 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 the whole thing. Right. So I think that success is really.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but let's not move right past that.
What's that?
You grew up poor. You grew up in hotels, going side to side. Being thankful to pay your bills is not somebody who lives in a hotel in that environment. There was a mindset shift somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
What was it?
It probably brings me to my first mistake in life, which was getting heavily involved in drugs and alcohol, getting thrown in and out of overnighters and here and there. And then it was a wake-up call. I mean, a big one. So I've been clean and sober now for almost 12 years. But that was the moment in my life where my biggest failure happened because I wasn't involved with my immediate family. I'm not talking about aunts and uncles and grandparents and all that, but my wife and my son.
So I got you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't use that poor crutch thing. Like, oh, my dad wasn't here. I was poor, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit about that, to be honest with you? Just to put it candidly, because no one really cares about that. I use that more of a motivation, a teaching tool for myself on a daily basis, as well as for my son. You know, we work hard for what we get. We appreciate what we have, and we give back. That's kind of our 3 pillars right there.
That's incredible, man. So good on you for 2 things. One, for first of all making it through that period of time and deciding to pick yourself up and lean on those folks who supported you during that time too.
Yeah.
And then second of all, just paying it forward, knowing that the next generation, hey, listen, the buck stops with you, so you got to pass it forward to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's kind of our responsibility now to teach our kids to do exactly what you're talking about. I interrupted you. You were in the middle of an incredible story, and I brought you back down to that mistake. All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing now in Black AV or Black.
Black Level AV. With Black Level AV, what we do is we provide custom home audio visual solutions. You know, anything from home theaters to media rooms, home networking, indoor, outdoor audio and visual systems.
Okay.
And it starts anywhere from pre-wire. You know, we work from houses that are slabs to studs all the way through completion. So
what gave you this idea? What was the motivation behind getting this business started?
I was currently employed with, this is what I've been doing since I got out of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
Somehow, some way, I found myself out of the Marine Corps. My unit's still in Iraq. I don't know what I'm going to do. Buddy hooks me up with a job at DirecTV. That sucked. It completely sucked.
Sure.
So I ended up somehow getting involved in a high-end custom home automation company out in San Diego. And I just went in as a wire dog, and I just worked my way up. I wanted to find out everything I possibly could on how this guy was running his business, what was making him successful, why he was selling $10 million a year, and how he got there. So I was with them for about 8 years, and then decided to make there was a left in the road and a right in the road, and I took a left and I jumped to another company, which I've been still and am currently employed with for over 6 years now. So
wow.
Last year I was sitting at my coffee table, like in the living room, and I was watching some replay. This is like September-ish. I was watching a replay of a football game, and something just hit me. It says, just start your own business. So I immediately grabbed my laptop. I bought Black Level AV, the domain. I started building the website. I put it together myself in about 30 days, and I didn't make a single sale until probably mid-January 2018, and went over 6 figures last year on my own. So I was able to take a thought, put it into action, put some planning behind it, wrote my business model, wrote my business plan, talked to a bunch of folks, started networking, and then my success, going back to kind of what you were talking about, has been giving it back, paying it forward, being involved with the community, the Legion, the Rockwall Veterans Business Alliance, my son's school, his friends, doing whatever I can to put myself out of the equation and putting others first has been a significant boost for just my business alone. Forget the personal achievements that come with it. You know what I mean? So that's what we do.
So at Knucklehead, that we call that don't be beta, right? We call that don't be beta. Go out and get you some wins. So don't be beta really just means it's just a kind of a fun way of saying, hey, listen.
Yeah.
Whenever you got started, there wasn't this huge amount of planning. There wasn't this committee. There wasn't this 4 or 5 books. You say that you were watching a football game. What I heard was 8 years, you took a left instead of a right.
Mhm.
And that's what gave you the perspective to potentially even have the opportunity to think that you could run your own business.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
What I hear a lot of people doing, and I don't know if you've heard this to be true or not, is I see guys going out there and taking blindless action, not planned, carefully thought out steps. That's different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
Certainly.
opposite of that,
Yeah.
right? So just aimless action with really
Mhm.
kind of rudderless. They're just out there pissing in the wind, so to speak.
So yeah. Mhm.
When I started my first business, it was a little bit like that. It was a lot of ego that was involved. It
Mhm.
wasn't like it was not carefully planned out. However, looking back on it now, if I
Yeah.
would have just stopped and talked to a few more folks, it probably would have gone a lot differently
Might
if
have
I
panned
was a
out
little bit
differently.
more humble. Yeah, I mean that's just how it works.
Yeah.
But given that perspective now, what you've been able to do is you've been able to parlay all of that experience with the, I guess, with the previous business,
Yeah.
and now you're starting to kind of move and shake on your own right now. So talk to people a little bit about how you handled that relationship with some of these, I guess, some of the past life, or is that completely behind you, the former employer?
No, it's not. I'm actually still actively employed with him, working
Oh, wow.
remotely here in
Okay.
Dallas. So I'm more. I used to be a boots on deck project manager, operations there, so hands on, real hands on. Now I'm more of a paper pusher, system design, making sure the operations. Basically, I'm essentially a freaking desk jockey. So
Got it.
there's a lot of days where I spend a lot of time staring at a screen, which is I can't stand, but it's paying the bills. But as Black Level grows and as things start increasing in production, I'm going to have no choice but to either go to the boss and say, "Hey, I'm done," or you can still retain my services in some form or fashion, et cetera. I haven't really thought that out too clearly yet.
Yeah.
It's always in the back of my mind, but my focus right now is like you're saying, like when we first started talking before the podcast, you're saying, what's going on? This is very timely because I've been thinking about 2018 and all the failures I had in it, like the things I didn't do right, the money I spent that I shouldn't have, a lot of stupid stuff like, oh, I'm making some good money now. Let me go buy this crap over here that I don't need, and then I look back and go, what was that for?
Why did I do that?
Yeah. So I'm the guy that if I have cash in my wallet, I'm finding something to spend it on. So usually my wife and we agree that I shouldn't probably hold on to cash, right? So
got it. All right. Okay. So that was a good move, listening to your wife when it comes to that type of thing. I love it.
Yeah, she's the money manager.
All right. So let's talk real quick about how people can find you, right? I mean, let's put a bow on this thing. Let's tell people about let's just say they're wanting your services. How do people get in touch with you? Or let's just say this. Let's say there's a Marine out there or a soldier or somebody who just happens to be listening to the podcast and they want to start a business. They want to just reach out to somebody who's similar type story. They were in drug and alcohol addiction for a little while and they started working for somebody else and they got this harebrained idea that they wanted to do their own thing. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, we have a Black Level AV Facebook page, of course. I do have a website. It's primarily just there just to say I have a website, just to be completely candid with you.
Got it.
I don't really manage it. I do get messages from it, but my direct phone number is on my Facebook page. You can take a look at some of the projects we've done. And we are actually actively putting our feelers out right now for veterans that are looking for, looking to get into this type of industry. We are a veteran owned and operated company. And obviously, if that's the case and people are interested or hell, they just want to know about technology or, maybe they don't know anything about it. That's okay. Look at our Black Level AV Facebook page, our phone number and our emails on that page. And that's probably the best way to get in touch with us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking that time, Jeff. So let's talk real quick. Anything last parting words that you want to? So let's just rewind the clock back a little bit. Let's say you're just before this football game that you're watching, where you got the idea. What would you tell yourself to avoid in 2018, or what would you tell yourself to avoid your first year of business if you could tell yourself something?
I would say, that's a good one, man. I need, you know what? If I was sitting there in the same spot and looking back, I'd probably say avoid the negative opinions and the negative remarks that people say when you say I'm going to start a business and people look at you like, yeah, that's bullshit. I don't think he's going to. Sorry if I'm messing up.
You're good. You're good.
But I would say don't listen to the noise. That's what I would tell myself, because when you start something like this on your own, and just in my short, little over a year experience, there's a lot of noise going on. There's a lot of people with opinions. And really, I would tell myself, focus on what you think you need to do for your business, while listening and taking away what you think is important for you and your business from every conversation you have. You can take away one little thing from every conversation you have. I think you can apply that somewhere in your life.
That's wisdom right there. That's gold. Anybody who,
about that.
Well, it's gold, because there's a lot of people who listen to the doubt as opposed to listen to the discernment that they've had for years of experience.
I pour the fire on that's fire to the fuel for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good, and it is what it is. Everybody's got a little bit different motivation factor, right? They've got to figure out what works best for them. All right. So we appreciate you, Jeff Skinner, Black Global AV. Here in North Texas. Excited for you, man. Excited what 2019 brings to you.
Yeah, and, me too.
And this community for sure. So we appreciate you. Guys, listen, Knucklehead Podcast. You can listen to us every Tuesday. We come up with a new episode. If we miss it, it's because we're busy. We're working. We're kicking Dell and taking names. We're just trying to make some things happen here. I mean, I am a dad. I do have a there's a million things on why. If we miss a Tuesday, we'll get it to you. Trust me. If you want to go fall asleep, check out our YouTube page. We have some videos there that you can go check out. If you want to install your TV and you don't, or excuse me, your AirPlay, your Mac, and you want it to connect with your television and all of those things that don't make any sense to me, contact Jeff. That's what he's there for.
That's it, man. Steven, thanks a lot for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
100%, man. 100%. Listen, don't be beta. Get yourself some wins. Go out there.
Simplify, brother.
Nice, Simplify, brother. Take care, man.
Thank you.